All right, Parker Wilde here, and I'm creating this channel to help beginners and intermediate golf players lower their score, learn from different tips and tricks that I'm learning going through my training. I recently decided, I've got the time and resources on my hands that I want to commit and become a much better golfer. And at my peak golf, I was a scratch golfer. Right now, I've got about a 4.5 handicap, I think. It's gone up for the last year and a half. I've actually gotten worse because I've been playing less, dealing with some injuries, less strength than I used to have. Part of that just comes to unfortunate bad luck, and some of it is pure laziness. So I'm recommitting myself, gonna go all in on my golf game, and I'm gonna show you guys how you go from, I'm shooting anywhere between a 76 to 79 right now. And it obviously depends on the course. Some courses I play much better, some are harder. So it just depends on the course. But I'm going to show you everything that I do in order to go from where my current golf game is right now, which is still sub 80s, all the way to shooting under, breaking par, being consistent, hitting the ball further. I'm a fairly consistent golfer. I don't make a lot of mistakes on the golf course. Hit the fairway, hit the green, typically two putt. Nothing sexy, but I don't go OB. I don't really hit the ball that far right now, which is definitely something that I'm going to be working on, increasing my body's mobility, my body's strength, different swing techniques. So I'll be meeting with a coach and a strength specialist. I'll be working out in the simulator. I'll be going out golfing on different golf courses, and I'll be showing you guys what it takes to go from a good golfer to a really, really great golfer. And I'll say, if you're just starting to golf and you are shooting in the hundreds right now, it's extremely easy to go from hundreds to sub 100. Even from 100 to low 90s, it's very easy. You just need to limit your mistakes, make good contact with the ball, and find your swing. It really starts to get difficult to improve your scores once you're trying to go from high 70s to low 70s. That's when it really starts to get difficult. And so there's a video of Will Zalatoris. He talks about it, and I'll include it on this.
How do you get from a 12 to an 8 is make less doubles. How do you get from an 8 to a 5? That's when you go from, okay, maybe get a little bit better with the short game, maybe get a little better with your chipping or less three putts. How do you go from a 5 to a 0? Going from a 10 to a 5 versus a 5 to a 0 is like light years different.
Right.
And so that's all of a sudden now where you're like, okay, I now have multiple shots with wedges around the green. I can hit it 280. That's just the recipe. My 3 big things that I always tell people: get on the green as fast as you can, take more club, and eliminate doubles. Tiger, actually had this thing that he did where it was no three putts, no doubles or bogeys on par 5s, no missed up and downs, and no penalty shots. And if he did one, he won 90% of the time. One over an entire tournament. I think when I won, I had 8.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. But
that's essentially what I'm saying is here's your 12 handicap version of it. Here's Tiger's level of it, which is that insane, but that just gives you the perspective of look, good golf is actually not something super sexy. It's just hey, if you want to go shoot 65, go birdie all the par 5s, maybe hit 1 or 2 wedges close, and you make 1 30-footer. That's 7 birdies.
I really just wanted to show you guys what it takes. And there are just crazy levels to this. I'll go play golf with people and they'll be like, oh my gosh, you're incredible. Are you on tour? And I'm like, dude, I suck in my mind. In my mind, I am not a great golfer because I'll play with other people or I'll watch other people and I'll be like, holy crap, they are just on another wavelength, right? There are college athletes, there's Korn Ferry, and then there's, PGA, and it's all just crazy levels. And so even the worst guys on Korn Ferry, worst guys on college, worst guys, obviously, PGA would just absolutely smoke me. And I'm a good golfer. So anyways, this series is dedicated. I'm going to try and post once a week of all the things that I'm learning, golf courses that I'm playing, clubs that I'm using, things that I'm learning, so on and so forth. And one of the cool things that I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one follower, whether that's from YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, every single month. And if they follow and like my posts and leave a comment, I am going to take them to a top public course in the United States. I will pay for it. I will fly them out. So make sure that you go ahead and click the subscribe or the follow button, like, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on my swing, on my game. I've got thick skin. Nothing that you can say will hurt me. I'm a big believer in constructive criticism. So we're just starting. We're getting into this, and hopefully this can help you with your golf game. And I genuinely think that a lot of golfers could be dramatically better overnight if they learned proper course management, tempo with their swings, the importance of hitting the ball in the middle of the club face. I think a lot of people think they need to swing super hard and just smoke it and go for the glory. And I just think that if you go about it small and simple, take the time to really, and this is more for beginners rather than like intermediate or better players. But if you're a beginner, your number one most important thing you should be focusing on right now, in my personal opinion, is where the ball is hitting on your club. And I would just start there and making sure, take your time. Don't go full swings yet. Do half swings, do quarter swings, and just work your way to a full swing until you can start hitting the ball well. And, it's not the clubs. I promise you it's not the clubs right now. Maybe it will be in due time, or the ball you play, maybe in due time. But anyways, I'm excited to show you guys the things that I'm working on, the coaches that I'm working with, the strength trainers that I'm working with, the courses that I'm playing. And hopefully these get better over time, and hopefully I get better over time. But with that, we're going to jump in. And like I said, I'm going to try and do one video a week. And this morning, I wanted to start just kind of showing my overall swing and my stock yardages. And I also went into a simulator training this morning with a strength coach and my golf coach just to go over some things about my swing, how to increase my strength, because when I tip out, I want to be able to hit the ball 300 yards. That's kind of my goal consistently, so that I can give myself a better opportunity to score. Because right now I make a lot of pars, I don't make a lot of birdies, and I think that's primarily because I don't have the distance to be able to get it done. So I think for me, one of my big things is if I can increase my distance on all of my clubs by 10, 15, 20 yards, which is absolutely doable, even more so. You'll see, I'll show you. I am not a big hitter by any means. I'm extremely consistent, but I do not hit the ball far at all. But I think for me, I've suffered with like back injuries, sciatica, pinched nerves, and it's put me away from the gym. It's hurt my mobility a lot, and it's partially prevented me from becoming a much better golfer and just healthier individual. And so I'm going to be getting back into the gym, working on my core, working on my flexibility and mobility, so that I can hit the shots that I want to hit. Because right now, with my stiffness and my pain tolerance, I'm not able to do all the quite moves that I want to. So hopefully over the course of this, you'll be able to see. But again, make sure that you follow, like, subscribe, comment, and at the end of each month, I will pick one winner from my followers and subscribers, and I will pay for an entire trip to go play one of the United States' top public golf courses. Obviously, it depends where you're located, and depends where I'm located at that time, but that's an incentive to follow the journey and get a free round of golf, free lodging, free flights to play one of the best courses every single month. So with that, we're going to go ahead and dive in, and I'm going to show you my stock yardages, and I'm also going to show you a little bit about what I was doing today, and that'll include this week's segment until I get to next week's. I'll be in Texas, and I'll be playing PGA Frisco, potentially Cowboys out there, and spending time with my family and friends over the Thanksgiving holiday. But tune in. I'm excited for this. It's out of my comfort zone, but I really hope that I can help you golfers, help golfers out there better their golf game and learn from my mistakes and learn from what I'm doing so that they can improve their game quicker. And with that, we'll jump into this week's video. Okay, so that was way more exhausting than I thought. I also this morning went to a 2-hour training session, which I'm going to show you about here in a second. And it was basically just like a strength analysis test. So I did that at 7 a.m. to 9:30 this morning, and then came back and filmed this of me doing these shots. And so I took 5 shots per club, and then obviously on the video I took the best 3, but I did take the averages of the 5 and included them in there. So it was definitely exhausting. Probably by like once I started to getting to the larger irons, like 4 iron, I think, maybe 3 iron, I was pretty beat. And definitely was not swinging as hard or keeping as like good of contact, especially my driver. The simulator room that I hit in at home has a little bit lower of a ceiling. So like kind of mentally, I'm kind of cautious not to like bring my club up as high because I don't want to hit the ceiling. But all the other clubs are fine. Also, you'll notice on my simulator, the ball reader is on the right side of the room, so I'm kind of pushed to the right when I'm hitting. And so sometimes when I hit on this simulator here, I tend to draw it a little bit because I don't want to go right. And so it's a little bit of like a mental disorientation that I have when I hit here rather than going to larger, more open simulators or like on the range actually and whatnot. But yeah, you can see, I think the things that shocked me the most are like my approach wedge that I hit. I only hit that 112 yards on average. And then my pitching wedge was only 128. So back when I was a scratch golfer, I was hitting my pitching wedge 140 yards, no problem. But I also had a lot stronger of a grip then, and I played more of a draw and some people may even have called it a hook. And you typically do get more distance on draws and hooks than you do on, fades, cuts, or obviously slices. And so fades and cuts, when the ball go to the right a little bit, it's a little bit more consistent, controllable, but it is a little bit less yardage. And so I'm hoping to be able to increase my yardages. I mean, I should be hitting my approach wedge 120 to 125. I should be hitting my pitching wedge 140 to 145. My 9 iron should be over 150. My 8 iron should be over 165. My 7 iron should be over 175. My 6 iron should be clearing 190. My 5 iron. So this is interesting because I'm actually fine with the distances on my 6 iron, 5 iron, 4 iron, and 3 iron, and my 7 wood and my 3 wood. Hitting a 5 iron, 210 yards, a 4 iron, 220, a 3 iron, 233, a 7 wood, 241 yards, and a 3 wood, 262 yards. Those are all pretty solid numbers. So it's kind of those lower irons, or wedges. The approach, pitching 9, 8, and 7 could use a ton of room for improvement in terms of distances. And then my driver is always so hit or miss. Sometimes like in my peak when I was a lot more muscular, strong, flexible, mobile, I could hit my driver 300 yards on a good drive. And now I feel like when I go out and play, I'm hitting a good drive like 270, 275 yards. Simulators are a little bit, I wouldn't fully take those as 100% accurate. But anyways, yeah, so that kind of shows you my overall swing. Obviously you can see like I'm pretty consistent. Depending on the shot or the swing, or like if I'm tired, or stiff or not stiff, so on and so forth. It'll affect my ball flight in terms of, am I hitting a draw or am I hitting a fade? But regardless, they're all pretty consistent, have very low dispersion. And that's what I was mentioning earlier. I don't really make too many mistakes. I'm not going out of bounds. I'm hitting the fairway or at least the light rough no problem pretty much on every single tee shot. My approach shots, it's more so distance control, especially when I play from tips and get into those longer irons. It's more take my time, relax, make sure that you know, take a couple practice swings, get situated, because sometimes when I just go up and hit it, I can hook it or I can cut it too much. So it also, again, my energy levels are super important to me. Like for me, I actually don't need to warm up that much before I go out and play. For me, like my warm up is eating and making sure that I'm like full and have proper energy. That to me is way more important than like hitting the range, but everybody's different. So anyways, hope you kind of got to see my level of golf ability and like my swing and my distances there. Just to kind of conclude this video, I want to show you just a few glimpses of what I was doing today, earlier this morning. They have these plates, and I'm going to butcher it. I'm going to put more information in this video of like exactly what I was doing, but like to kind of dummy it down, the way that I would explain it is this strength coach, which he was nuking, he nukes the ball like 350 plus yards. And he brought in these plates, and you stand on these plates, and he's got his iPad, and he can see where you put your pressure and your weight throughout your swing. And so I warmed up with a 7-iron, and then I hit a couple drives, and he could see where I distribute my weight when I go back, when I'm at my top, and then when I'm going down and my follow through. He can see where all of my weight is being dispersed and transferred. And so one of the things that he told me was I was loading really well. So I was coming back really well and getting, loading my power. But then when I come through down, I don't put a lot of pressure and weight and transfer my power to my left leg. And so he told me that I was losing a ton of distance because it was like 80-20, 90-10, somewhere in that. And he wanted to see it, like 60-40, 50-50 as I come down. But the problem is, and it's something that I need to work on, is that I have a terrible left side of my body. Like my lower left back, I hurt in high school lifting weights, and I've had like sciatica, nerve damage, pinched nerves, pretty much everything you can think of. And so it's really hard for me to walk a long way or stand for a long period of time. My whole left leg will go numb. My whole left side of my body will go completely numb. And so he was trying to kind of, have me work on some drills. And it's crazy because like I thought, and you might be able to hear it in some of these videos, I didn't have him wear a mic. I only wore the mic. But he thought, he told me, Parker, I want you to just think all of your weight is on your left and essentially no weight is on your right, just so you can mentally start to understand it. And even then, just the lack of strength through my left side, like it was doing pretty much nothing. So on December 6th, I'm going back and having a much more intense workout where he's gonna like test all my body strength and create like a workout plan to help me increase the strength and mobility and flexibility within my body so that I can hit the shots that I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you this next part of the video of me in there. And then after that, we'll wrap up this first video. But again, please remember to hit follow, subscribe, like, comment. I do stay true to what I say, and I will tell you that I will take one person a month to play a top golf course in the United States. All completely paid for. All you have to do is follow, like, and comment on my videos, and I will randomly choose somebody at the end of each month. I will coordinate with them, completely paid for the entire trip. They won't have to come out of pocket. So again, make sure that you subscribe and follow, and let's go ahead and see what I did this morning.
You were ready though.
I was ready.
That was a bomb.
Such a bomb, 260.
Okay, go ahead. You're good.
Rory does it too, but when he turns, there's a little bit of a plant inward.
So that he can keep it in.
So he keeps it in, so he plants and jumps out.
Got it.
When it goes this way.
Because mine's more of a sway.
Yep, so we get into this, which people still do that and can generate power, but you have to work harder to actually create that power.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is that you work as little as possible to create it. So I don't know if your hip can handle this, so that's why I wouldn't do
Yeah.
that. But just focusing on, can you keep that knee going that way when you jump instead of that way
Yeah.
when you jump?
Mm-hmm.
So when people are here and they're starting to turn, and if they don't create enough of that vertical, like the club will want to speed up this way. And so what I want is to create a ton of vertical and rotation so that the moment like this wants to stay bent and cocked, as opposed to like that. I want like that, where everything is turned more in front of it so that this actually wants to stay cocked more.
When you said vertical, you're talking about vertical this way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
it's turn and vertical.
Turn and vertical so that the club wants to stay back and behind just a little bit.
Okay.
So if we go here and then I stop turning my chest, or my pelvis stops turning, my chest will speed up a little bit, but then as soon as my chest stops turning, this will speed up. So if I can keep this kind of rotating,
Okay.
the club will want to stay in a little bit better position.
That'll be huge for power.
Yeah, right, Kyle does the rock where he's like this, right? And then Borgmeyer goes like that. So he's trying to feel the rotation part of it. Kyle's trying to feel the lateral part of it. You're a little bit stationary right before you swing, where it's just kind of there. There's not a lot of buildup of pressure. So same thing with a towel drill or spreading. Like I want you to feel like you just engage the ground a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can go. Because right now it's kind of like those lines here, all of these ones.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty close to nothing.
Yeah.
So I'd like that just to be a little bit more dynamic instead of just standing. Because if you went from stand and then
Get like a little bit of motion going initially.
like you either get down more or you like build pressure with both so that you can either go this way.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's kind of what I want from the lateral.
7-iron?
Yeah, let's do 7.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so what do you want me to think about?
So I want you to feel pushing left foot towards the ball, right foot away from the ball. Good. So when I get those arrows to kind of
So
like that.
weight here, weight back here.
And it's not so much the weight as much as like I want you to feel like if I'm trying to push me away. Like I want you to feel like that force where one foot's pushing one way and one foot's pushing the other. Okay. And then I just want you to feel like as you go into the swing, like the downswing, it's happening at the same time. You feel the right leg engaged and you feel the left leg engaged. I really just think it's feeling that right leg engaged with the ground. Okay. Go heel toe. Okay. And then you tell me if you feel like if you felt like you did it or not.
I definitely initially felt like I was pushing forward and going back, but then I don't think on my down I timed it very well.
So I would say that was a pretty good rep. So we see both of those peaking pretty close to the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the timing could have been there, but that's pretty good. But that was much better on the left and the right working together. I think the left maybe could get a little more, but I also think if you were on your left side a little bit earlier, you would be able to do that.
Okay. And what do you mean by on your left side a little bit earlier?
So like at the top of the swing, So you're 70, 30 on the right leg. And then at the top of the swing, you're at 89-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want you to feel like you're closer to your left side when you get there.
Like more weight on my left
At the top.
when I'm at my top?
Yep.
Because I'm leaning back like this too much, or?
So it's not really leaning, it's just pressure in your feet.
Okay.
So you're here, and I want you to feel like that foot is pressing
Okay.
in that same position.
Okay.
Okay. But that was a pretty good rep, I would say, on the rotation.
Okay.
Okay. Heel toe. And go for it. Maybe I'd like you to push a little bit harder off the left leg, but I think that's part of, if the left leg is going this way, it's not going to rotate. So if I can
See if I can keep it in a little bit.
you can keep it in on this one.
No, if he could do it, it really felt like if he could do this, it would really.
So when I'm coming down, because right now I'm going like this,
Yep.
and you want it in like that.
Yeah, so I don't want you to stop your rotation. So I don't want you to go like that. I want you to feel like you clear your hip while pushing that leg back. I want that knee to go out like this. It's gonna externally rotate.
So it's going back. It's going back.
Externally rotate, but it's gonna go back, not outside the axis.
Okay. So is that knee better?
The knee is definitely better. Too much weight on the right side
Too much weight
on that one. Yeah.
when I'm up top?
Even down low, like all of the sequence of going down, like you're only at here on the way down, you're only at 55% on the left leg. So as you straighten that leg,
Push in.
weight into it when you straighten it. If you just try and straighten it, you're not going to be pretty.
So just get more weight into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a quick question. So on the way down, do you want the knee and the ankle and the hip to be inside the ankle, the lateral side of the ankle on the way down?
So I think that's a biomechanically really good position.
Okay.
If their hips are slightly out, like I'm kind of okay with it, but I definitely don't want to see the knee out.
Okay. The hip can be.
Hip can be pretty close, yeah.
Okay.
But I definitely want the knee on the inside.
So at what point in my swing do you want like the pressure starting to really push into my left?
Yeah.
Like where am I supposed to be activating all that?
So basically at the top of the machine. So if I'm here, like most of the weight's on my right leg,
Yeah, it's loaded.
right? And then as I get into the top of my transition, that's when I'm reloading. And that's where I'll see the pressure shift from 90% to 50.
So like before I start coming down is when I need to start putting the pressure in.
Yeah, because I want to see my chest stay away, like my back towards the target. When I shift, I definitely don't want to be here and shift and rotate. Like it needs to be shift first, big over the top.
Yep, makes sense.
So
Okay.
just for this, and I'm only doing it because Clint's here, just feel like you're stacking tilting a little bit on the lead side. Okay? So when you go backwards, I want you to feel like you're on your left leg.
When I go backwards?
Yeah. So from the very beginning, just don't feel like you load the right side as much. I just want you to feel like you're getting to your left side right as soon as the club comes off the block.
Okay.
Yeah.
So more weight here, and this is just kind of lighter.
Yeah, exactly. So I want you to feel like you're pressing into me, but push, push, push. So I need that on the lead side,
Okay.
on the backswing. Okay.
Okay.
So again, this is just to feel, because we're not quite getting the lead side down. We're actually getting, you're like trying to go down, but there's like no weight into it, and then you have to come up really late.
Okay.
I don't like that movement pattern that we're getting.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to make you go left and stay left.
So like activating how straight and in I am on the left
Yeah, so you're gonna feel like your left glute and quad
are both
are
activated.
activated the whole time.
Okay,
and you
makes
don't
sense.
actually get to your right side.
Okay, makes sense.
How do you feel like you did?
I definitely think I made more of an effort.
So that was better on the left, but we still got to 90% on the right.
Yeah.
I just want you to really emphasize more on the left earlier, like at the very beginning.
Got it.
Okay. So you're gonna feel.
What does that look? What does that look like?
Looks like second. So
Yeah, exactly.
looks like what cost Mike Weir 20 years
Yeah,
of his
come
career.
on over. So it's gonna feel like that.
I see. Okay, that makes more sense.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
Okay.
it was a swing philosophy that has kind of died out, but I guess there's some guys still doing it. But it just, from a mechanic standpoint, it doesn't build a lot of power, and I feel like it doesn't build a lot of accuracy. So that's why we don't do it.
Okay.
But for this purpose,
I also think the left side of my body is extremely less strong
yeah,
than my right side.
yeah, that's why I would have loved to like do more
Yeah.
of that stuff first, so I know. But if that's really true and we're struggling with it, then it's a perfect opportunity for you to like explode
Yeah.
if we get you stronger in that spot.
Yeah.
Look better.
You're still getting 80%. It's much better now than it was in the last couple swings. I still want more. Like I still want more on the lead side.
So am I like leaning on this while turning?
I think for now, like for this drill, yeah,
Okay.
that's the feeling.
Okay.
Okay.
So really I'm just trying to just put no weight on this right side.
Like minimal. Like I still want it to have weight on it, but for this drill right now,
Okay.
just to get it left, I want you to feel like it's all the way over.
Feel versus real.
Okay, got it.
We're trying to swing you from one side of the spectrum,
Yeah.
closer to the middle, so we're exaggerating the other
Got
side
it.
of the
I
spectrum.
got it. So when I'm up top like this, I need to be
You feel like you could almost pick up your right foot.
Did you have an accident where your left side is not?
Yeah, I herniated a disc in my back, and my left side of my body is probably like 70% as strong as my right side. So I have like no strength in my left.
Yeah. Okay.
That should be better.
So I'm gonna have you just do some punch shots for me, where that right leg is down like this. I just want to see, can you keep that there? Can you push it back and rotate with that just toe being down? So all the way from the left,
Yep.
toe is down for balance, and that's it. You got to 83% on the right.
That's crazy.
So just do a half swing. Like
Half swing?
At what point is the swing too big where you can't actually stay on the left? So I want you to be able to go like that. Like the toe is barely on the ground.
Okay.
Everything's on the left. And you're just gonna do like a half or quarter swing.
Okay.
So even less. I see too much weight in the right foot. Yeah, there you go. That's better.
I can absolutely 100% feel the lack of strength in my left leg. 100%. That's probably why I overcompensate on my right so much.
Yeah.
Because like standing like that, my whole left like leg is like zero strength.
Yeah.
Feel it's fatigued.
Yeah, it's just not strong. It just like shakes, and it's just not. It's just because the injury. I think I've never like trained it to
How did you hurt it?
just lifting weights, and I herniated a disc, and it just goes down through my left side. So my right side, like I have full strength in, but I just feel like my left side for the last like decade, I haven't had nearly as much strength.
So this would be, you know, if there's 70% strength, and depending on how long was it herniated for before you had. Did
It's been like over 10 years.
No surgery.
No surgery.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, as we go through maybe some strength training with it, like, if we get the strength back, great, then we can make this change. If not, then it's a cool thing because we can try and help you find what we need to do with being a little bit more trail side level,
Mm-hmm.
and how can we create power more that way. So, either way,
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good solution to whatever we need to do. But if we can get the strength up, then great.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can kind of go into this. But if not, it could be a cool thing where you own your swing,
Mhm.
right? Where it's you own your body and you own your swing. You can make it work.
Yeah.
And that'll be cool.
Is that something that PT could help with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think with him, like, it doesn't sound like pain is too much of a restrictor most of the time. It's really strength. So for him, I think it just takes a focused program on that left side and to make sure that we're getting enough to that. Probably, is that like L4-5 or 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
4-5.
4-5 is the most common one.
Yeah.
That. So just getting it trained, I think, is going to be the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then once we get that, then we can get out of this motor pattern that you literally just don't want to be on your left
Yeah.
side. So that would be a big win either way.
Okay.
Is just knowing that.
Can you kind of tell that when you do his body assessment? Can you kind
Yeah, I'll
of
see
best
this.
protocol is?
Yeah. I'll be able to see like what specific areas have the most weakness,
Okay, great.
especially on that left side, and then we'll kind of track those metrics as we go to make sure. Because after about 6 weeks, I would expect it to have a decent amount of improvement, like
Yeah.
10 to 20%,
Mm-hmm.
and then we kind of retest again and see.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sweet.
Any other questions?
No, that's helpful.
Okay. So I think the weight distribution is a target, but I think we have to look at the whole picture too. And then the wrist angle is big. Being able to get that. And then your AP force, which I think you got. I think you got the timing down of that twisting.
Mm-hmm.
It was just still maybe a little bit more on that trail side when you're twisting.
Got it.
Than both.
Okay.
But when you get the the driver in, you do have a better weight shift. So I know that's why I feel like it's just a strength thing and it's a little bit of a movement pattern thing rather than just a physical inability to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, so hopefully you found that relatively interesting. Obviously, that's a strength coach. He was doing a bunch of analysis on me. The other guy that you saw here and there in the video was my actual golf coach, who I'm going to be training with multiple times per week and executing on things that he gives me. So as you can see, there's definitely room for improvement. Obviously, I need to increase my strength, my mobility, specifically on my left side of the body. It's really, really weak. I wish everybody watching that could understand how weak it is. It's terrible. And then, I think there's a few other kind of movement and technique things that I can be doing as well that I've already discussed with my coach. So I'm going to be working on those a lot. But I think there's a ton of room for improvement and increase of power and just overall technique. And I do believe that I will see them fairly quickly. Probably within the next month and a half, I'll see dramatic increases in my mobility, my strength, and just kind of power. And I'm very excited about that because it'll allow me to score a lot more. Obviously, the more distance you have, the closer to the green you can get. The less power you really need to it's hard to say, but you don't need to swing as hard because you have better technique, utilizing the ground more, so on and so forth. So I'm pretty darn good with my short game. So I think that with the additional yardage off the tee and just my approach shots, I'll be able to score a lot more, which I'm very excited about. But that's really all for this first video, for this first week. Really excited to be doing this and sharing my journey. Again, follow, subscribe, like, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, obviously YouTube, and I'm going to be posting more content. And I'm learning this whole social media journey with you, so bear with me, and I'm excited, but I will see you next week.